Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Paryeet. Just found this shit on my fucking recommended page. We got a school threat who murdered his neighbor for TikTok. Man, y'all be trying to get TikTok famous too badly. I ain't gonna cap.
Thumb allegedly stabbed 52-year-old Timmy Durham to death.
Oh my god, bro.
Aggravated manslaughter.
Who drives 100 miles an hour through a residential neighborhood?
What are you gonna do, Karen? Single-minded goal of becoming famous on TikTok.
This fucking school threat, bro. Yeah, beat his ass, please.
Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how an 18-year-old kid from Vineland, New Jersey ended up in jail for murdering his neighbor because his thirst for clout got the best of him. You know, it's a really tragic line of events and was completely avoidable if the right intervention was taking place. But that never happened. One small problem spiraled out of control and eventually turned into a chaotic shitstorm that couldn't be stopped once things...
Bro, just looking at him, you can tell he's been plotting to shoot up school. I'm not gonna lie. Just look at him, bro. Look at this school threat, Timmy.
Got too far. And I first heard about this story from a viewer of mine who messaged me on Instagram saying, "Hey Destiny, you've probably have seen this or not. I want you to react to it. I know it happened 2 months ago, but I just heard of it now." And she linked me a video saying, "Did teen kill neighbor to become famous on TikTok?" I even stopped watching the video because I can watch you react to it, so please do. And by the way, I don't really do reaction videos, but obviously this person, whose name that I'm not going to even try pronouncing in fear of butchering it, really wanted me to look into the story and talk about it, and that is exactly what I did. I investigated to see what happened, and man, I seriously had to roll my eyes after reading up on the entire situation. So basically what happened was this 16-year-old kid named Zachary Latham moved into his grandparents' house on Thornhill Road in Vineland, New Jersey, and quickly got into some beef with his new neighbors after Mr. Durham, the husband and father who lived next door, complained to Zach's grandparents about his alleged reckless driving once he got there. And you know how some kids are. Once they get their license, they act like they've never been in a car before and start driving around like they're in Mario Kart. But based on my understanding, after the talk that Mr. Durham had with Zach's grandparents ended, Zach's grandpa pulled him to the side and was like, "Hey, yo, Zach, come over here, B. You gotta stop all that crazy driving you doing around my hood before me and the missus decide to put your ass back on the street." And you know,
bro,
basically, they forced Zach to go on over to Mr. Durham's house and apologize for driving around the neighborhood like a crackhead that just got his license for the first time. However, based on what I've gathered after looking into the story deeper, Zach's apology was filled with nothing but lies, and soon after that, he quickly went back to his antics and continued on throughout the community with his reckless driving. Mr. Durham, now seeing that Zach really didn't care and completely dismissed what had happened earlier today as if he was a dementia patient with short-term memory loss, got really annoyed. And his impression of Zach being his new neighbor in his neighborhood plummeted into a deep, dark, fiery hole of hell that could never return. From that point on there, he really did not like Zach. And that is when everything started to go downhill and was the catalyst for what would one day start a bloody fight that would end up taking Mr. Durham's life. And you know, I think it's very important for me to clarify that the killing of Mr. Durham didn't just happen out of nowhere. It wasn't a random occurrence of unlucky events that led to this deadly altercation between Mr. Durham and Zach. Because what most people fail to realize is that after the
that Zach is a fucking school shooter. Look, bro, just like analyze his fucking player build. You got the skinny ass arms, so you know he's not gonna fair fight. Just look at his eyebrows, bro. You can look at, bro. You can tell that he's just a school shooter, or sorry, in this scenario, a school stabber. You got that fucking whatever the fuck that shit is right there, right there. You got the collared shirt. You're a faggot.
Initial confrontation 2 years ago, there were many more small fights, arguments, and skirmishes between Mr. Durham, his family, and Zachary Latham. Like, this thing has been boiling up for a while now, and tensions have been rising. Like, for example, a month before the killing, on April 6th, Latham recorded himself embroiled in a heated confrontation with Mr. Durham's wife, Catherine, in which he, in a video that I'm going to show you guys in like a second, calls her Karen over and over again after she complains about his wild driving.
What are you going to do, Karen?
That's not my name, so get my name straight. Go ahead.
You okay, Karen? Go ahead, get my tag.
Go.
Get my tag, Karen.
My name is
Bro, I hate kids like this.
So get my name straight.
Get my tag, it's okay.
Like, there's a difference. No, this is not a Karen, bro. This is not a Karen. A Karen is those bitches that are just involved in your business for no reason. They're the ones that are just trying to do, like, too much. This is not a Karen. She is in the fucking situation. Zachary, buddy, you're a school shooter. And if I see you, I want to fight you. I want to throw you against the wall and start beating your ass. Fucking school threat. Your name is Zachary Latham? Bro, I want to name you Zachary Latham on the fucking floor and fucking kick your head.
A45MFA.
And after posting that clip, he went viral on TikTok. That specific clip accumulated over 3 million views on his TikTok account, and the people who commented on the video were suggesting that he cut her tires, egg her house, and continue to mess with her even more. Like, you can imagine how he felt after realizing.
Now let's just analyze all these comments. L1KE.
Egg her house.
TH3.
And continue to mess with her.
V1DE0. I don't know about you guys, but doesn't this seem like it's the same motherfucking person commenting? Come on.
Or even more. Like, you can imagine how he felt after realizing that people actually enjoyed his destructive behavior and that they actually found it entertaining, especially when considering that most of his previous videos got no more than 150 likes at most. Inside his mind, he was probably thinking that this was his time to shine and was actively thinking of new ways to fuck with his next door neighbors. And days later though, Zach actually pulled up to Mrs. Durham's house and shouted, "Hey Karen, we went viral." Obviously trying to get inside Mrs. Durham's head by taunting her. And actually in another video that I saw that he recorded, it shows him having a confrontation with William Durham Jr., which is her 21-year-old son, as he walks up to Zach's car saying, "Get out of the car, bro." And then Zach responds back by saying that he's armed with a knife. And then he took that video, which he recorded, posted it to his TikTok with the description, "Karen's son found the video, went viral, and tried taking me out of the car." And
Bro, like, I don't know about you guys, this just getting me heated, bro. I can't stand these fuckers that just think they're the shit, bro. Like, you're skinny as shit. I will knock you the fuck out. You're a pussy. You gotta bring knives and guns into this shit, bro. Like, put that shit down, bro. Run the ones. If you're not a pussy, catch the fade, bro.
Actually, in an article, it says here,
Fucking
police
bitch,
responded
bro.
to this incident and took accounts from both Durham and Latham, but no charges were filed according to an investigation. In the article, it also says he has also blown her a kiss as he sped by while driving to his house.
Bro, where are
So
his
obviously,
parents?
he
Where are
was
this
just-
kid's parents? Like, bro, this dude is literally a school shooter. And his parents just don't say shit about this. Bro.
Just continuing to mess with her and trying to taunt her, you know, trying to get a reaction out of her. That's the kind of guy that he is, you know. This Zach guy, whoever the fuck he is a straight up dickhead. Like, he's an actual asshole. And to be honest, I would never want someone like him to be my neighbor because, like, we would definitely be fighting every...
Listen, yeah. If he's my neighbor, I promise you I'm stomping his head. I'm stomping on his head. I promise. If I see you lacking outside, I'm beating your ass, bro. I'm sorry. You're a skinny little pussy. You bring a knife to it, motherfucker.
every other week if he was on some bullshit like that.
He works at Burger King. Yeah, he's broke. And he's broke as shit. Alright, he's broke as
about
shit
this
too.
guy and who he is, I couldn't find
So
much.
he's broke,
like,
he's a
information
pussy,
about his life
and he
his
looks like a
personal
school shooter,
background
bro.
was
That's
pretty
tough.
sparse.
That's
However,
tough.
after doing a little digging, I found out that this guy Zach was emancipated at 17 and was a soldier in the army serving as a National Guard private at 18. Which is ironic, since being a part of the National Guard means your job is to serve and protect your state, country, and community. And
I'm gonna tell you the real reason he joined the army. Real reason he joined the army was to get them guns so he could blow up them schools. I mean, shoot up them schools. Fucking school threat.
not terrorizing and being a nuisance to your next door neighbors. I also found some images of him from his TikTok account that makes him look like a straight up egocentric kid. As you can see here in this image, it says 350Z owner, I love 5W-30. Is that a Tomei dog? Society, neighbors
Look
hate
how
you,
hard he's trying to
cuts
flex his
everybody
arms,
off.
bro.
What are
Look,
blinkers,
you can tell when he's
road
doing his
rage,
fucking arms.
loud
He's so bad,
exhaust, my DE will smoke your HR. Is this how douchebags communicate with each other? In another image, it says people in the army, because he's a National Guard in the army. He says, drives a Mustang or Camaro with 20% APR. I can
Nobody
drink
gives a
more
fuck.
than you. Gets called stuck up, always loud, chair force, anger issues, has guns, likes to party. So
What I say, has guns. He's a school threat. He's a school threat, bro. Simple.
clearly this guy's an asshole, and he's making it out to seem as if these personality traits are actually cool. Pretty weird. And another image, it says owning a Corvette. By the way, I don't know how you have all these cars at 17, but I guess good for him. Daddy's money. What's the speed limit? Won a race. Revs at the red light. Gets heated
That's what he
on
does.
for having a nice car. Ew, a Mustang stuck up. Yeah, this guy is basically like the epitome of everything I hate about people personified. He
my
apparently
God.
also has a history of simple assault, terroristic threats, and criminal mischief on his juvenile
Bro, what did I just say? This dude's a school threat.
record. So when taking that into account as well, Zach is obviously a troublemaker. And you want to know what the crazy thing is? The
Troublemaker
Durham
is a light way
family
to
was
put it.
trying to sort this whole thing out the legal way via the courts and through the law enforcement, but the police weren't helping very much and said that COVID-19 made the courts close. As stated here, the Durhams,
Bro, they could have done
their
some
lawyers
shit, bro.
wrote, sought help.
He didn't
from
have to
the
lose
Vineland
his
police
life.
several times, but were repeatedly told that they could not sign a complaint against Mr. Latham since the courts were closed because of the coronavirus
That's
pandemic.
cap.
And by the way, I get that the coronavirus was very tragic, is very tragic, as it's still going
100%.
on, and you know, we got to take it seriously. But are we really just gonna sit here and disregard the legal complaints from a person who's in desperate need of help from a dickhead next door neighbor who's obviously terrorizing them? Like, where do you get help if not from law enforcement? The deceased father's legal team notes that a judge and several cops live in the area and knew about the past trouble Latham had caused. Latham even shared a video of a police officer confirming that he won't take any action even though he saw video evidence. It's unclear which incident he is addressing.
Bro, that's so fucked.
But you won't do anything even though you saw video proof, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
For your video, that is correct.
thank you. Say what's up, TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, say what's up.
Bro, this cop, listen, if I catch you in the streets, I want to fight you. I'm like, bro, you fucking... Bro, this... Oh my God.
So my question is, what do you do when you're trying to do things the right way, but there's no one around to help you and your family? Especially after 2 whole years. Well, you try and take matters into your own hands. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
though, things went sideways for Mr. Durham when he tried to do just that. Because on May 4th, being the asshole that Zach Latham was, Zach allegedly swerved his car onto the side of the road where Mr. Durham's 17-year-old son was riding his bike. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Mr. Durham had had enough and decided to finally confront Zach face to face like a man after 2 years. And especially considering that Zach was no longer a child and was now 18, I suppose he was
could
no
beat
longer
his
in
ass.
fear of being charged with child abuse if things turned physical. As stated here though, after Zach, basically tried to hit his son, Mr. Durham pulled his truck into the street to block Latham's truck. Catherine Durham, his wife, recording the exchange on her phone, challenged Latham over the incident involving her son. Video footage shows Latham throwing an elbow at Catherine Durham, pushing her back, knocking the phone from her hand, and speeding off toward his home. And then when Latham got to his house, his wife, because he's actually married at 18, which is weird. His house, his wife.
Queenie. Alright, Zachary, I'm about to steal your bitch right now, buddy. Congratulations. Hold up. Queenie. Congratulations, Queenie. You will be sucking on these nuts tonight. Damn. Alright, well, you got off this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Because, he's actually married at 18, which is weird. Who was recording the scene with her phone, walked down the driveway to confront the Durham's sons as they came onto the property. Because the whole family was actually involved in the situation. They went over there like a squad trying to confront Zach about, just everything that happened over the course of 2 years. Sarah Latham, Zach's wife, told the Durham sons that they had better back up because they were not going to like what was coming out of the house.
Bro, why does this kid look like annoying TV? What the fuck?
So obviously she was threatening the entire family. Soon after, William Durham,
Sarah, I'll see you tonight,
their
baby.
father and the husband arrived with his truck. Latham's public defenders say in their filing that he and his wife can be heard on the video footage clearly telling the Durhams several times to get off the property, and they are not welcome. The Durhams, their hands visibly empty, continued to approach, the prosecution filing says.
Which they
so
should.
now the Durhams had crossed the line from their property to Latham's grandparents' property. But here's where things took a turn for the worst. Because apparently after he got back home after speeding off earlier in the story, he actually went inside his house, got a couple of knives and his stun gun, and came back outside to confront.
Yo, somebody please get like a screenshot and crop this shit. This is gonna be my next emo. This is gonna be the fucking active school shooter.
The Durham family. So clearly this kid wanted to fight. He wanted to smoke. He wanted to get down and dirty, and things went bad. So yeah, after going back outside, he confronted the family and fired his stun gun at one of the sons. It then says William Durham then grabbed at Latham, who slashed him in the right arm with his knife before retreating in his garage. So obviously, this is exactly where things started to go really crazy. Both Mr. Durham and Zach were in the heat of the moment. Their adrenaline levels must have been through the roof, and they were in full-on battle mode. But it didn't stop there, because after that happened, apparently Mr. Durham had followed Zach toward the garage that Zach was heading to. It then says here a brief but violent melee then ensued, during which the stun gun was fired repeatedly and Latham's wife urged him to drop the knife. So yeah, you can imagine. Sarah, this 18-year-old kid's wife, was recording the whole
Hey, Sarah.
thing. And once I reveal why she was recording this entire thing to begin with, you guys will be disgusted. Unfortunately though, in a horrific line of events, Mr. Durham was stabbed under the armpit, puncturing his lungs in what was thought to be the fatal wound that
so
killed him.
fucked, bro.
Perry, Latham's lawyer, did not respond to requests for comment on the suggestion that his client had lured William Durham to his death in hopes of gaining social media notoriety. Because as it stands right now, their lawyers, the lawyers that represent Mr. Durham's family, they genuinely believe that the whole reason for Zach continuously trying to mess with the Durham family was to get reactions out of them so that he could then record them, post it to his TikTok, and try to become TikTok famous. And you know what? In this instance, I absolutely do believe TikTok did have a role to play in the way that things ended up in the situation.
100%.
Zach's own narcissism, ego, mixed in with the weird-ass people in his comment section telling him to continue to keep fucking with his neighbors, led directly to this tragedy. But in my opinion,
Sucks, bro.
it's not even TikTok's fault necessarily, because in my opinion, TikTok is just a symptom of a larger pre-existing condition that we've had in our society ever since people figured out that they could gain fame from social media. You know, the idea of getting famous on social media is like an intoxicating drug that takes over your entire body once it enters your bloodstream. And just the thought of being able to do something wild to capture the attention of millions of people across the world really has got some people hooked like a fish on bait, unaware of the impending doom about to come their way once they're captured by a fisherman. But in this case, that fisherman is TikTok. But yeah, Zachary Latham, as of right now, was charged with first-degree manslaughter after claiming his actions were in self-defense, and unsurprisingly, Mr. Durham's wife and 2 children were charged with simple assault and trespassing, since they did in fact cross over to Zachary Latham's property and, you know, did contribute to the altercation that happened. But their lawyers, they want the charges against the family dropped and Latham charged with first-degree murder, because their theory is basically the same as mine. As it says here in this article, Latham, they say, deliberately drew William Durham to his death in a bid for social media celebrity. In a June letter to Webb McRae, the lawyers Diane M. Ruberton and Robert R. Simmons noted that Latham's wife, Sarah Latham, recorded
Who'll be slapping on my nuts today?
the brawl on her phone and said she did so because it was her and Latham's intent to post these videos to TikTok and become TikTok famous. Yeah. Pretty wild stuff. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, let me know down below. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram so that you can always know what I have.
Alright, bro. That was fucking crazy. Zachary, you are an active school shooter, buddy. You've earned a titanium, bro. You've a plasmic school threat badge. You've earned a plasmic school threat badge, bro. Alright, bro. Well, if you liked the video, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Comment more videos you want me to react to. And I will give you guys an update on on Sarah.